Welcome everybody to downtown Seward, Alaska. Here we have a coffee house Airbnb. It's a tiny home and it's located right in the middle of downtown near all the bars, all the fun stuff, and close to one of the coolest hikes I've done in all of Seward. So let's go on inside and check it out.
Thank you, mountains, for letting me pass. 'Cause I couldn't think of another way to get through besides that. Times are changing, we need more money now.
All right, welcome inside of the tiny home. The first thing you notice is how big and wide the entranceway is for the kitchen and the living room. So I'm gonna take you over on this side and we're talking about the living room common area space. So this side of the tiny home is kind of the common space area. I would like to call it the living room because that's where people get to sit down, hang out, and be comfortable. Probably one of the coolest things about this tiny home and on this side of the house are the windows. So these windows are huge and it makes you feel like the area is much bigger than it actually is. And the windows go all the way up to the side of the wall. And that's about it with this side of the living room. So let's move over here to the dining room table. So over here is the dining room table. The thing I like most about the dining room table is the view. So while you're sitting here, you get to see the mountains and all the beautiful places that Seward has to offer. Good place to eat lunch, eat dinner. All right, so now we're moving on to the kitchen. A lot of counter space for a tiny home, especially with only the 2-burner induction stove. So here we have live edge shelves that hold the pots and pans, and they hold your coffee, your seasonings and stuff like that for cooking right over the stove, and coffee maker here in the kitchen. They don't have any overhead storage, which works fine because they have the shelves here, and that really opens up the space. Because when you have the cabinets up on top, I feel like it really can like make a kitchen kind of claustrophobic, and in a tiny home you really don't have much space to not feel claustrophobic. So these open shelves here are a really good idea, and I really like the look of the live edge wood. So down here we have a propane stove heater. It looks like a wooden stove, but it's not. It's all propane and it will heat the area really nice. I'm gonna turn it on tonight. All right, so over here we have a refrigerator. It's a small little refrigerator, like an apartment size refrigerator, or what I like to call tiny home refrigerators, because it's a tiny space, you need tiny refrigerators, but they hold a bunch of food. In my case, it only holds enough food for a meal or two, because that's how long I'm in the tiny home. This fridge would be enough for 2 people. All right, well, welcome to the bedroom. This is the only bedroom in the tiny home, but it does have a queen size bed. It's very comfortable and very soft. I like, it might be memory foam, which is even better. Then we'll come on to this side of the bedroom, and you'll notice they have a big TV in here. It also swivels, so you can swivel it over this way, watch it in bed, and if you want to watch it in the living room while you're cooking or eating food, you can also swivel it this way. Good storage for things when you come in here. You can kind of just put it out on the shelves. That's really nice to do when you're traveling, so you don't have to live out of a bag. And then on this side, they also have hangers for clothes. I hung up my jackets. So one thing I want to touch on before we're done with the bedroom is the fact that there is no loft. They decided not to do the loft in here because, and they have elderly family, and they didn't want them walking up and down the loft. I actually like that because it keeps the space very open. The only downside is there's not as much storage. Welcome to the bathroom. It's your typical tiny home bathroom. You got a small sink, vanity here, a mirror, some lights, and then over here you've got a nice flushable toilet. They chose to go with this instead of a composting toilet like a lot of tiny homes have, but this is perfect because they're right here in the city and they can hook it up right to the city water, and all is good. There's also an exhaust fan to keep the moisture out when you take a hot shower. So that brings me to the shower. The shower is really neat. There's actually a porthole from an old boat that looks outside that lets light in the shower. It's also got this tile that kind of looks like mermaid scales. So again, it kind of fits that maritime Seward fish theme artwork. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it's really cool. Welcome to the patio / front porch of the tiny home. This is a really cool area to sit out and enjoy the view of Seward with all the mountains and the trees, and this place is beautiful. If you've never been to Seward, Alaska, highly recommend it. When the weather's good, it is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. So you're right here in downtown Seward, which is a really cute little like agricultural spot where you can go to bars and restaurants, and that kind of makes Seward what Seward is. Just beyond what the natural beauty it has, it also has a very cool culture where everybody smiles and waves and says hello, and everybody knows everybody. It's a really cool little town. So thanks for watching the tour of the Coffee House Tiny Home, guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have, and I'm excited to spend the night here and spend a lot more time in Seward. It's an amazing place. If you would like to stay here, the link is down below, their Airbnb. Also follow them on Instagram with their coffee shop. It's really cool. I would highly recommend it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for checking it out. Cheers, guys.